Okay, I have started the recording.
Okay.
Are you guys able to see my screen properly?
Yes.
Any
Yes.
background noise?
No. No.
Very good. Now, Microsoft System Center Configuration Manager. This was not Microsoft System Center Configuration Manager. Actually, this started in 1994, and Microsoft gave it name as System Management Server, SMS. So Microsoft released the version SMS 1.0, SMS 2.0 and 3.0 between 1994 and SMS 2003. I mean, from between 1994 to 2003, these were the versions released by Microsoft. Then, from 2003 onwards, when SMS 2003 came in the year 2003, it was a major hit. Most of the organizations started using it. Why? Because they got multiple solutions like operating system deployment, application deployment. Patching was not there in SMS. Patching was included later in SCCM 2007. So they released SP1, SP2, SP3 of SMS 2003. Multiple versions based on the feedback they received from multiple companies. They enhanced, they improved the feature and functionality, and kept on creating new versions. Then we had SCCM 2007. Okay, SCCM 2007. From here, Microsoft changed the naming convention from SMS to SCCM, System Center Configuration Manager. And System Center is actually a family, and Configuration Manager is a product. So under System Center, you have multiple products as well. Okay, so Configuration Manager, like SCOM, System Center Operation Manager, the monitoring tool is there. Okay, similarly we have SCCM, System Center Configuration Manager. So we got SCCM 2007, SP1, SP2, R2. These were the versions released by Microsoft based on the feedback they received from multiple companies. They kept on enhancing the feature and functionality and kept on releasing. Then we got SCCM 2012, okay, which is most of the organizations are using SCCM 2012, 12 SP1, SP2. These are the versions Microsoft released in the year 2012. From SP1, Microsoft added mobile device management. Till SCCM 2012, mobile device management was not included. You cannot manage your mobile like Android or iPhone or Windows Mobile. You cannot manage. But from 2012 SP1, Microsoft included that one. Then Microsoft released 1511. Now the naming convention again changed because they stopped taking the SP1, SP2 thing. They started using year and month. So in the year 2015, November, Microsoft released this SCCM 1511. Then 1602. In the year 2016, February, Microsoft released this 1602. And then 1606, Microsoft released this in the June 2016. And October 2016, Microsoft released 1610. And similarly, 17.1 and 17.2. This is the final current branch released by Microsoft. So if anyone asks which is the current version, the latest version, this is the latest version of SCCM 1702, which was released in Feb 2017. Any confusion, guys, so far?
No. Good.
So this was the historical part of SCCM when it was started and the versions of SCCM. Then the training duration will be around 35 hours. Okay. And after this training, if you are planning to go for certification, you can take this exam 70-243. Okay.
Okay.
And you need to score at least 700 out of 1000 to pass the exam. After taking this exam, you get MCP, Microsoft Certified Professional certification from Microsoft. And the training cost is $4,800 in India and somewhere around $100 in US and Canada.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have the dumps for this one?
No, dumps is not available. Dumps, I can give you a link where you can download the dumps, but they are charging minimal amount. You need to pay for that. Yeah. Okay. So I would suggest don't rush for certification now.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait for at least 1 month, practice well, and after practicing, when you are confident enough to clear the exam, then only go for it. And before you are going for exam, also let me know so that I can, if I have some thing available to me, I'll let you know.
And one more thing, like, is it that exam 70-243 is from which year? Is it like later 16 or 1702?
No, 2012.
12. Still
1702 is still not available in Microsoft certification.
Just wondering. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Understood? Any confusion?
No.
Okay. So, just to let you know, SCCM 2012 SP2 is the one which is being used widely at the moment. Slowly and gradually, people are upgrading their infrastructure from 2012 to the latest ones. So there are few companies, like 10 or 15% of the companies which they have already updated, but majority of them, they are still using 2012 SP2. So wherever you are going for interview or for the opportunity vacancies, most of the time they will be asking questions about 2012 SCCM, and also the function and feature are almost 90% same, and the GUI is same, everything is same. The only difference is in 1702 or the later version of SCCM, couple of more features are added. That's it. Apart from the concept is same, the GUI is same, everything. What I will do, I will also show you how to upgrade your SCCM from 2012 to 1702, and you will see there is nothing difference. The GUI is same, everything is similar, all same.
Okay. I have a question. Like, some people some client, they were still using 2007 also, am I right?
2007 is there, but that is already out of support now. Microsoft has already.
Oh, okay. That's what I want to ask you. Okay.
Yeah, upgrade
so it is end of life now.
Yeah, end of life. The Microsoft is already informed and to upgrade your infrastructure. Otherwise, we will not be able to support. We already have the later versions. And I would also suggest, do not give interview where people already have 2007. They will, I don't find any point to work on a older technology. Rather, you work in a newer technology so that you have more visibility, and chances are very high that you will get other opportunities if you are working on newer technology. Okay. So this was about the overview of SCCM and historical part. Any question, Benny?
No.
Understood?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Anytime if you have any question, raise your concern, stop me right there. Okay?
Sure.
Now, what is the basic functionality of SCCM? Why we need SCCM in our infrastructure? There are multiple tools available in the market, right? Basic requirement and basic benefit of SCCM is asset management, deployment, compliance management, and security. Okay. So in asset management, suppose you have a you have a company wherein multiple devices are there. Like in India, you have 1,000 devices. In Canada, you have 10,000 devices. In US, you have another 5,000 devices. So total, you have 50,000 employees strength all over the globe. And you want to find out, you want to keep a hardware inventory and software inventory of those computers, right? Like which are the computers with 2 GB of RAM, which are the computer which has processor, which are the computer has LG monitor, which are the computers has different kind of hardware, which are the computer which has Microsoft Office installed on it, which are the computer which has Adobe Reader installed on it. So you can do asset management like hardware inventory, you can do software inventory of all the devices all over the globe. Okay.
Okay.
Then you have asset intelligence. Asset intelligence, what they do is you have like in 50,000 devices all over the globe, you will have like thousands and thousands of applications installed on it. So in order to do categorization of the application, you have asset intelligence, which will help you to categorize all the applications which are there in your infrastructure.
Yeah, before we used to work in Excel sheets in 2007 and 2006. We used to have all the applications and how many license we were using and which are like decommissioned and which is inbuilt by the client. So those, now they made this one. Okay.
Yeah, nice. Right. So it actually categorizes the information, and it also has this licensing feature. You can put the license using your CSV file, and suppose you have imported 100 license, and it actually checks each and every license in each devices. If you have consumed 50 license, so it will tell you in the report that 50 license is already consumed on so and so devices. Okay, that is the main basic functionality of this asset intelligence. Then you have software metering. So in software metering, you can check the usage of the application. Like there are 100 license application which you want to keep a track, how many people are using, how many people are just wasting the license. The application is installed and they are not using it. So you, based on software metering report, you can uninstall application from the people computer where it is not being used. Okay, it actually gives you the usage report.
Okay.
Then you have remote management. Using SCCM console, you can remote into any computer on your infrastructure, be it in Mumbai, London, Chennai, Hyderabad, where the computer is located, you can remote it. Then the major section of SCCM, the SCCM is actually a deployment tool. Okay, so that is the major functionality of SCCM. So
okay,
application management. Using SCCM, you can deploy application, you can uninstall, you can install, you can upgrade application throughout the globe. For example, there is a requirement to install Google Chrome to all 50,000 computers in your organization. You cannot install one by one. It will take ages.
Yeah.
You put the deployment on SCCM, and the deployment will be done, and all the computer will get the deployment and installation will happen. Similarly, if something goes wrong with the application, you can uninstall the application, roll back it, remove the application from user's computer. So that you can do in SCCM. Okay.
Sure.
Then you have software update management. What is software update? Like your operating system, it needs update to free from vulnerability. Microsoft releases updates on every second Tuesday of each month.
Is it the patch you are telling about?
Patch, yes.
Okay.
Patches, yeah. So Microsoft releases the patches on every second Tuesday of the month for its product, like for Windows 7, for 10, for 8, for server, so that Microsoft product can be healthy and free from vulnerability. You can download the update and push it to your end user computers to keep your computers up to date. Okay?
Okay.
Then you have operating system deployment. Using SCCM, you can deploy operating system, be it Windows 7, be it Windows 8 and 10 or servers. You can use SCCM for deployment of operating system. You don't need a pen drive or CD drive to install manually. So you can do it over the network. Then you have content management. Microsoft System Center Configuration Manager does content management. For example, there are two separate applications, and both of them need .NET Framework as a prerequisite. So .NET Framework, when you do the deployment, .NET Framework will not get copied twice, because it will not do duplicate effort. Both the application will have the same prerequisite. It will download only once, and the other application will keep a reference that I also need this application as a prerequisite, so that it is actually optimizing the space. Understood?
Yeah.
So it does not duplicate the effort. Then you have compliance management. Using SCCM, you can create your baseline and compliance setting that I want all my computers to be to have Internet Explorer greater than version 10. So using configuration baseline, if any computers is below Internet Explorer 10 version, it will be considered as non-compliant computer, and you will get the report, and after you get the report, you can troubleshoot and make them compliant. Or you can create a baseline that on each and every computer on a registry, I need this particular registry key available. If any computer does not have that registry key available, that means the computer is non-compliant, and you can manually track down those computers and get it remediated. Okay? Then you have power management. For example, after 7 o'clock in the evening, everyone leaves the organization. So after 7, you can probably turn off their monitors, or computer can go to sleep mode or hibernate mode, so that you can optimize some power. So power management can also be done from SCCM. Then you have client health. SCCM is a server and client based application. Okay, client will keep on reporting to the server, and whatever the server says, it takes the policy from the server and deploy it to the computer. So if the client is not reporting to the server for some time, then it will automatically repair the client. Okay?
Yeah.
Then you have reporting, to get all the details in reporting. Monitoring, you can monitor all the components of SCCM, whether everything is working all okay, or if is anything not working properly. Then security. Under security, you have role-based administration. So as I said, suppose you have two teams. One is working on packaging, and the other one other team is working on patching, software update. So the packaging team needs application deployment role and patching team needs software update role. So we will have two different roles for these two groups. So relevant access will be given to the relevant team so that we can secure our SCCM infrastructure. Other people will not be able to, the packaging team will not be able to perform anything in patching. Similarly, the patching team will not be able to perform anything in packaging. Understood?
Yeah.
Then you have NAP, network access protection. So in network access protection, what happens? Suppose any computer which is not having recent patches, the updates are missing on the computer. What will happen? Chances are very high that it might spread, the computer get infected with virus or some other issues, and it might spread the virus to other computers. So what SCCM can perform is to identify the computers which are not recently patched, which are vulnerable, and remove those computers from the local LAN network to a restricted LAN network. Understood? So that chances of spreading the virus is very less because the computer itself not available on the regular LAN network. So you will
no. Sorry to stop you here. Like NAP, like the NAP is a feature. It's inside SCCM and it's controlling. It's like a firewall. Is that you are trying to say, or?
It is controlling the firewall, you can say that, but the main feature, what happens, you know, Microsoft identifies how many patches are missing on each computer, right?
Okay.
So suppose the patch limit is higher than the baseline. Suppose I want to have all my computer patched. If any computer does not have more than 20 patches, that is vulnerable. Okay. So what NAP does is, in SCCM, any computer which has 20 patches missing, more than 20 patches missing, Microsoft will remove that computer from the local LAN. We will have LAN network. Every computer is connected to the LAN, right?
Yeah.
Then Microsoft, what it does is, it removes it from the local LAN and put it to the restricted network. We will have two networks, one VLAN, the regular LAN, and one will be your restricted network. So that computer port will not be connected. Basically, it is a firewall configuration. So it will not be connected
so
to the.
After doing the review on the machine, then it will be pulled back again. Like once if it is done, everything is fixed, then it will come back to the normal thing. Okay.
Yes. That is the main functionality of NAP. Okay. Then you have endpoint protection. Using this is a antivirus like Symantec or Norton. You can use Microsoft endpoint protection to secure your infrastructure. Basically, it will scan your computer. If any virus is there, it will kill the virus and quarantine your files and folders if it finds anything. There is one more section here which I have not included in the slide, that is called mobile device management. Using SCCM, you can manage your mobile devices like your Android device, your iOS devices, your Windows phone, or Windows 10 or Windows 8.1, which are not on the LAN network, which are on the internet. You can manage your mobile devices. Okay?
Yep.
Manage
Understood?
devices means to install apps or
to install apps, to set some policies like like on mobile devices. You can set a policy like every mobile device should have minimum 8 character alphanumeric password in place. All my devices should be password protected. Also, you can devise policy like our users should not be able to use camera or should not be able to use Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, because the mobile devices belong to the corporate, right? Corporate and corporate want to secure the usage. If the device is lost, someone has stolen the device, so the password will be there, the device will be encrypted. If someone tries to enter incorrect password, the mobile device will be wiped away. So those are the policies you can define. Okay.
Okay.
So, any confusion so far?
No, right now. Now, one question. In SS Intelligence, you told that you will be inserting CSV. So it will be all licensed, like different CSV, or in one CSV all licensed, like Adobe licenses, Office 365 licenses?
Different CSV.
Different CSV. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so in CSV format, when you get the license from the vendor, they will give you that license key. You can import that license key in SCCM, and but most of the time, mostly people are not using it. Normally, most of the now what is happening is all the license are being managed on a third-party tool. You know, when you log into the third-party tool, you will get those things information. Okay. Any more questions before I proceed?
No,
right.
Okay. Now this is the basic functionality of SCCM, why we need SCCM. And now after we implement the SCCM, what are the benefits? So it empowers the users' productivity. Like you have multiple users, and multiple users will have multiple requirement of application. So you can create internal app store in SCCM. People can go to the app store and download the application themselves, rather than calling help desk or raising a ticket. So it empowers user productivity. The second thing is using baseline and configuration item, you can secure your infrastructure. Like your computers are compliant, using you can patch the computer, you can save and secure your infrastructure. The computers are not vulnerable. Simplify IT administration. The new SCCM console is pretty straightforward. It is very easy to use and user friendly, so you can manage those things in a single pane. So that is the benefit of SCCM. You worked on 2007, Vasant?
Yeah.
And 12?
Yeah, because most of the applications now they are deploying through 2012.
2012. Okay, great.
Yes,
you're working on application model or package model in SCCM? Package model, right?
No, we are not having supposed to access, but I used to go and see only in the packaging part. We used to do in the deployment part. Sometimes like we used to go and see. They used to tell like they are facing some problem, and they will open the log file and they will tell like there is a problem in packaging. It is not a problem with SCCM. So they used to define that time. We used to go and check. Like we don't have direct access because they have a separate team for SCCM, and the packaging team is totally different from that. So they won't allow us to do access with the SCCM.
Okay.
Because like before they had like packages also can access, but what happened? They said like we didn't deploy the application, we didn't upload, in the sense like we didn't make the collection and this thing. So they had some problem that time. So they split it into two. Like okay, SCCM part it should be done by the SCCM team, and this thing will be packaging will be done by the packaging team. No packages should get into the SCCM. So,
okay.
because if some problems comes, then immediately they will show the finger to you, like you only uploaded.
Right.
So this is a problem happening. So you mess up the environment like that. So, but few organizations, the packager, they are doing the SCCM part also.
Yeah, more. I see like 50% organizations are doing that. When the organization does
client.
not, mostly the product-based company, not the service industry.
Yeah, right. You're right.
Okay, so good. We have this benefit now. Now, SCCM works with site and side roles. Okay. So SCCM has three major sites: central administration site, primary site, and secondary site. Central administration site comes into the picture when you have more than one primary site server. Then only central administration site comes in. Or when you have very big organization like TCS or IBM, wherein you have more than 100,000 clients all over the globe. If the number is higher, then only you need central administration site. One central administration site is capable of handling 400,000 devices all over the globe. Okay? And it also needs a database server. Database server has to be there for central administration site so that it can keep all the configuration and all the information in the database. But if your organization is not that big enough, okay, if your organization has less than 100,000 devices all over the globe, which is 95% of the organization, very less, there are hardly any company which has more than 100,000 devices like IBM, TCS, Wipro, Cognizant, Capgemini. So these are the major players who has more than 100,000 devices. But majority of the companies, whether it is a product-based company or a service industry, they have less than 100,000 employees all over the globe. Okay. So central administration site comes into the picture when you have more than 100,000 devices and more than one primary site. Then you have primary site. Primary site is capable of handling 100,000 devices all over the globe. Okay. One primary site can manage 100,000 devices. So let's say you are running a company called Alpha, for example, which has branches, branch office, head office in somewhere in India, and you have branch office in London, Hyderabad, Chennai, Paris, multiple locations, and total you have 80,000 devices all over the globe. So you can set one primary device for that, and you will be able to manage all the devices. Okay. Then you have secondary site. Secondary site is the child site of primary. Primary can exist without secondary, but secondary cannot exist without primary. You have to have a primary site for secondary to exist. Secondary site, why it comes into the picture? When you have branch offices. So, for example, your company is in Mumbai, which has 50,000 employees, 50,000 people all over the place. In one building, 50,000 employees are there and 50,000 devices are there. Now, suppose you have expanded your business in Delhi, and there in Delhi you have again 5,000 devices. So to manage all the devices in Delhi, you need a secondary site. Secondary site will manage all the devices, and update in the same database where primary site is updating. You don't need, primary site needs a database server, but secondary site does not need a database server. It uses the same database. It writes in the same database where primary site is writing. Okay.
Okay. And one more question, like
yeah.
So when we are making this thing, like initially we are making central administration site. Inside that we are creating primary and secondary, right?
Yeah. First of all, suppose your organization is having more than 100,000 devices, then you need
then we are
then central
we are
administration
creating central
site.
administration site. Okay.
Yeah, then you have multiple, and if you have one central administration site, you have to have at least 2 primary site server. You cannot have one primary and one central administration site.
Okay.
Okay. So
if we have one central administration, then we should have at least 2 primary site, and after that we can have secondary if required.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So in the lab environment, we will be creating one primary site. Okay, we don't have requirement to create a central administration site.
Okay.
Yeah, we will be going with one primary site server, and we will also show you how to create a secondary site later. Okay.
And sorry to interrupt. Like, is there any differences in creating, like, if we create a central administration site, like we will have more features than primary site, or no. If we have everything is same features?
No, central administration site is also a primary site.
Okay.
It is same as primary site, but the only difference is central administration site manages the primary sites, and primary site manages the clients, the devices. Understood?
Yeah.
So in the training, we will be going with one primary site server. We will be installing our SQL database and all the prerequisite of a primary site, and then we will install our primary site server on that box. Now then we have secondary site when you have branch offices, so that branch office computers will be managed by secondary site, and secondary site will report to primary site.
Primary, okay.
Something like this diagram. Central administration site will be sitting on the top of the hierarchy. Then you have more than 2. You have multiple primary site, and then you have multiple secondary site, like this. Okay.
Got it.
Also, I'll explain this one. Suppose you have Houston, which has 20,000 people in one building. You don't need a secondary or central administration site. You just go with one primary site server, and that primary site is capable of handling all the 20,000 devices in one building. Now you have expanded your business from Houston is the head office, and Seattle and Boston are the branch offices. So from Houston to Seattle, you need internet WAN connection, right? You cannot send the package over the LAN network, so chances are very high that you might choke up the network if every time you send the package to the devices in Seattle from Houston. Rather, you can create a secondary site in both the location, so that all the deployment will be taken by the secondary, and secondary will be responsible to deploy it over to the devices in that location. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, secondary site comes into the picture for bandwidth optimization, and when you have low bandwidth, and you don't want to choke up your network. Okay. And then the last. This diagram, when you have very big organization, wherein you have more than 100, like let's say you have 300,000 devices, one in America, 100,000 in America's region, 100,000 in EMEA region, and 100,000 in the APAC region. So you set 3 primary site server to manage the devices in each region, and all the 3 primary site server will be reporting to the central administration site, which is sitting on the top of the hierarchy. Okay. Now, sites. These were the site. Then we have site roles in SCCM. Site roles like management point is one of the roles in SCCM. Management point is like a communication bridge between the server and the client. The communication, the policy which are deployed, the client connects to the management point and gets the policy. Okay. The agent will be connecting to the SCCM server through management point. That is the main responsibility of management point. Then you have distribution point. Distribution point is like a warehouse or a go down or file server where you keep your all application or patching files and operating system files so that you can distribute to your devices. Like 7-Eleven, right? You have all your, or Walmart, you keep your stuff there and you can take it from there, right? Then you have software update point. Software update point is for patching. Microsoft, to connect your SCCM with Microsoft Update Server, you need a software update point which will help you to download all the patches and deploy it to end user computer.
Okay.
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 Yeah.
Then you have fallback status point. For example, this primary management point is down. Let's say Delhi has 5,000 devices, and all of them are connected with the secondary site in Delhi. If secondary site is down, Delhi can reach out to the primary site server. That is called fallback status point or alternate method of connecting to the server. Okay. Then you have site database, configuration manager site database server, where you keep your SQL database in server, where you install your SQL database. That becomes your configuration manager sites database server. Configuration manager site server, where you have either primary or secondary or central administration site. That becomes your configuration manager site server. Configuration manager site system, where you have any of the roles installed. Either you have software update point role or management point role or distribution point role or fallback status point role. Any role is installed on any server, that becomes your configuration manager site system. Okay. Configuration manager component site system role. Any server where your SMS executive service is running, that becomes your component server, like your SCCM site server or SCCM secondary site or primary or central administration site becomes your configuration manager component site system role. Then you have SMS provider. Let me draw a diagram for this because this is important. You have SCCM and you have database. You cannot have SCCM without a database. You have to have a SQL database, then only you can build your SCCM. SCCM database. And this one is SMS provider. SMS provider is nothing but an agent which does the writing from SCCM and to database. So if anything SCCM wants to keep it in the database, it gives it to the SMS provider, and SMS provider gives it to the database. So it works as an agent.
Okay.
Understood? SCCM directly does not write anything to the database. It has SMS provider to do the writing.
For example, like any example, like how we can define, like in terms of application
example,
or the information.
For example, let's say a new device comes into SCCM console. New device coming in and registering, and a new device has SCCM agent installed, and now it got registered to SCCM. The moment it got registered to SCCM, SCCM will identify, okay, this is a new computer and I need to update my information in my database. So SCCM takes the data and send it to the SMS provider. SMS provider sends it to the database. SMS provider, why we need SMS provider? Because it actually creates a log. Who is doing what? Okay? And it keeps all the information whenever someone writes anything or update any information, so that we have the logging enabled. And in case if you want to find out who is doing what, you can get it from the log section. You cannot actually see it. You cannot actually see SMS provider. That is a hidden role in SCCM.
Okay.
Yeah.
If after deploying application, if you have some problem or later like it got broken or something, that time that SCCM administrator will go and find out the information from this SCCM provider, or he will try to get the log from there, or where it will be available.
Okay. You are going in a wrong direction. Okay. Suppose these are the devices and you do the deployment of one application. Let's say Google Chrome, you did the deployment.
Okay.
So out of the deployment, success 90%, failed 10%. SCCM gets the information that success 10 and failed, success 90 and failed 10. What SCCM will do, this information is now available to SCCM. SCCM will send this information to SMS provider that update it to my database, and SMS provider will send the data back to database. Now database has this information. Whenever we need any information, we can get it from the database in the reporting section.
Database. Okay.
Yeah, from the report, we can query the database and get the report.
Okay. The SMS provider is acting as a middle agent in making
right?
Yeah, making
to
this
update
information from. Yeah. Okay, got it.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you have two roles: application catalog web service point and application catalog website point. So these are the roles for creating internal Windows App Store. Like you have Google Play Store and Apple App Store. You can also create your App Store for internal employees. People can go there and get the application, whatever the application you publish for them. Okay. You are basically creating a website, internal website for the user, and these are the roles which will help you to create the website, and that will be available to all the users in your organization, and they can get the application from the website.
Okay.
Then you have asset intelligence synchronization point. This is actually for categorization of application. It connects to Microsoft synchronization point, and it will give you all the information of the category of the application, which application belongs to which family, which category. For example, Google Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, all the three belongs to browser family. So Microsoft, it actually does the categorization and gives you the information. And also it helps you to do the licensing management as well. Then you have endpoint protection, which I have already discussed about. This is for security. Okay, endpoint protection role. These are the roles. Whatever the points are there, like asset intelligence point, endpoint protection point. These are the roles. The reporting services point is also a role, which helps you. Reporting services point helps you to get the report from SQL database server, or create your custom report, or manage your report. Then you have service connection point. This is for mobile device management. You can manage your mobile devices if this role is added. Now the role name is changed actually. It is Microsoft Intune Connector. Microsoft Intune Connector point. That is the role. Okay. State migration, when you are migrating user from one operating system to another operating system, that is the role which we need to install. Then you have system health validator point. It actually checks the agent health and repairs the agent. But this is not being used now because it actually Microsoft is SCCM is also doing parallelly if any health checkup.
Okay.
Any confusion so far?
No.
Okay. Now the lab. How we will go in the lab? We will have our one server, Windows Server 2012 R2 Data Center Edition. That will be having our domain controller. And the second server, we will install all prerequisite, including database server, and we will be installing our SCCM server application on it. That will become our SCCM server. Okay. And the client computer. So Windows 7 or Windows 8. Now before we go ahead, I want to know the lab. I want to know the configuration of your computer. Benny, is your computer having minimum 12 gigabyte of RAM?
12. 4 gigabyte.
4 gigabyte. Okay. Lab cannot be set up on your device. We'll have to set up on the cloud. How about Vasant?
Yeah, I told you already. Like it's like Windows Server 8 with 8 gig. So we should have at least 24. Yeah, that's not possible.
That's not possible. Fine. So I'll take you to the cloud. I'll create servers for you on the cloud in Microsoft Azure portal. We will have multiple servers. We will connect all the servers to the domain and do the SCCM deployment there itself. Okay. Lab. Yeah. I actually do not believe in theoretical knowledge. I want practical knowledge. So so that you can, when you do it yourself, then you will be able to understand properly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'll build the servers for you. Okay. So let me take you to my lab. I have 16 gigabyte of RAM and quad-core processor. 16 gigabyte and quad-core processor. So what I have done is I have created a VMware workstation here. Okay, you might know about it, right? VMware.
Yeah.
Wherein I have created one domain controller and another one is my SCCM server. This is my SCCM box where I have installed my SCCM SP2 2012 SP2. Both of them are connected to the local LAN network, and I have Windows 7 as well and Windows 8 as well. Okay, this works for me on the. So I wanted to have this kind of configuration at your end as well, but since you do not have configuration on the computer, so what we will do, we will go on cloud on this one. This is Microsoft Azure portal, which helps you to create your virtual machine. So I have here virtual machines, 3 virtual machines are there. Okay, all of them are connected to my to the domain, to the same network, and then I created a domain controller on this server and created a secondary site on this DP1, and this one is my SCCM server. So let me connect Kashif to the password. Okay, this one is my cloud server.
That's just okay.
And if you see, the version of SCCM is, what is the version? 1702.
1702.
Yeah, and you see the difference. It is almost similar with 2012. The only difference here is a little bit like you can update your SCCM from update and servicing here, and in software library you have Windows 10 servicing and Office 365. That is the only changes which we have. That's it. So I'll create the servers for you guys and give you the login details.
Okay.
So that you can create your server, and from tomorrow we will be doing practical. Okay, so I will also create my servers on the cloud. I'll be performing the same step, and you have to follow me and perform the same step on at your end. Okay.
Sure.
Any question, any doubts, how the training will go, and anything, you let me know.
So for this, already you have created, like, are we going to create a new one?
New one, because this is only for 30 days. So this is going to expire in 7 days. This I had created for my other class, and that is already finished. I finished it yesterday. Okay.
Okay.
So I will not be able to use it, because what happens, the moment you add server, Microsoft starts charging it, and you get 13,300 credit initially for 1 month.
Okay.
That is free of cost. For 1 month they give you 13,300. So once, what we do normally, we create servers, and once we are done with the training, when the session, we stop the server. When the server is stopped, it will not charge. For example, if the server is running, then Microsoft keeps on charging for the servers. So I have been using for the past 22 days now, and now the credit is 7876 remaining. Okay. So for each session I used to turn on the servers, and once the session is done, I used to stop the server. So I am getting charged only for those hours when I am running the server in the training. Okay. Yeah. I'll create the servers for you and give you the login details. Okay. Understood?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Now, Okay, so let me close this one. So is the timing good? From 7 a.m. to 8:30 my time?
Yes.
This looks fine, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And are you guys having any question and any issues, or you are satisfied with the training module we have?
Yes.
Yes, so far so good.
Okay, fine. So we'll go ahead with the practical session by tomorrow, and every session is getting recorded. As you see, this is getting recorded, and after this session I'll download and send you the recording file, as well as this document and PPT which I shared with you. Okay,
Sure.
so thank you so much for joining the session. I hope the session was informative. We'll meet tomorrow.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. At the same time.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.